Good morning. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. How's everybody doing? Good? All right, warm-up number 28 should come up as soon as you log in. Let's get started, please. You will need a calculator, so send someone to get you a calculator. All right. Any pause the music? All right, Austin T. Go. What do I do with that data? Okay. Help them out, Carter. What do I do with that data? Go. Did you skip a 3? No? Okay. 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 10. All right? So to get our box plot, we need a minimum, a maximum. We need Q1, Q2, and Q3. So share with me here what you got for Q1, Q2, Q3. Carter's going to pass it to someone. All right, Carter, pass someone. Q1, Q2, Q3. The minimum is 1, maximum is 10. Hands if you got something like that. All right. We need the IQR. Tell your neighbor what to do to find the IQR really quick. Remind them. By now we should be experts at this, but just Mario, pass the one. Cool. IQR. 4. Hands if you got that. That is correct. You take Q3, subtract from Q1, and that's how we get the IQR. All right, not bad, not bad. Let's go to number 2. Now, this is what I saw. Look up. I saw some of you do this. I saw some of you do this. Guess what? Since it doesn't have a clear trajectory, that means this one does not have, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't either go up or down. It's just going that way. Therefore, let me erase all the other ones. If I just go straight that way, that means it doesn't have any positive or negative relation. So that means my equation shall be y equals 4. No slope. All right, copy the agenda, please. Send me your warm-up as soon as, bless you, you can. Warm-up number 28, frequency tables and graphs. Today's home play is from 2.2, practice problems 1 and 2 only. Also, last night were home play only 2 problems. So go to Canvas, turn that in. You're going to see a new module appear where you click on modules. It's titled Chapter 2, Tables and Graphs, Frequency Tables and Graphs. Turn that in. Get the Cornell note ready, please. I'll give you the code in a little bit as soon as people copy the agenda for the home plate axis. All right, code for the home play axis, FIR43. In case you don't want to go home and search through your textbook, FIR43. FIR43. I did include those 2 problems in here. So once again, last night's was this one. You need to come up with a distribution frequency. Tonight's home plate is this one. Let's go. All right, get a Cornell note. People, today we're moving on from tables to graphs. Tables to graphs. Our objective for today, I can represent frequency tables into graphs. I can represent frequency tables into graphs. I can represent frequency tables into graphs. So yesterday we started with frequency tables, and also known as What one word? Tell your neighbor, what one word were they going to represent frequency tables? Distribution. That is correct. So whenever you see distribution or distribution frequency, they're talking about tables. All right. So we know about data. We know categorical versus quantitative. We know what frequency tables are, and then we covered that some time back. Which brings us to graphs. Write this down on your paper, please. There's three main graphs that we're going to cover today, okay? The first one, very common that you've used in the past, known as histograms. Histograms. And it looks something like this. The second kind, also pretty well known, is known as frequency polygon. And you've seen these also when you open the newspaper or stocks. It looks something like this. And the third one, known as cumulative frequency or Ogive, and it looks something like this. And you've seen this very often when they want to show stocks and their movement in whether they're going upward or downward. So copy those, please, on your notes. All right, so three of the most common are histograms, frequency polygon, and Ogive, known as cumulative frequency. Okay? I'm going to leave those on your screen so I can show you a couple more of the histograms. So I'm going to show you a couple more histograms. Here they go. Don't copy those, just to show you other ways of representing histograms. They look something like that. Now, I'm pretty sure this looks familiar. Bell shape, yes? You're like, oh, snap, right? All right, so with that said, without further ado, let's get started with graphing. Copy this one, example one. Copy the table, please, and then read. And move it all the way to the right of your paper, because we're going to need space on the left to do the graph. Record high temperatures in the U.S., class boundaries, there they are, and frequency, there they are. Copy that. I just sent you the table to your screen. All right, here we go. So it says, represent the data using histograms. Now, yesterday, did I give you a table? No. I gave you raw data. So guess what step one is once you are given raw data? Step one is to make a frequency table. So step one is done. For the sake of time, I already gave you the table. There it is. We good? Step two, label it over here to the left of your table and add one more column. So step two, we need to find the midpoint. Midpoint for every class. So, look up. To find the midpoint, I need to look at the class boundaries. How could I never let them know what I did with the class boundaries? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? It looks like Aleshka's got it. Very good, Aleshka. Quirin's got it. Very good, Quirin. I see you. What did I do with the class boundaries to get the midpoint? So let's go with Brandon Darty. What did I do? Close. You add and divide by 2, because there's how many boundaries? 2. So with calculators, 99.5 plus 104.5, that's 204, divided by 2, that's 102. That's how we find the midpoint. Find the next midpoint, please. Calculators calculate. Like Austin's got it. Very good, Austin. What'd you get, Austin S, for the next one? 107. Hands, have you got that? That is correct. Once again, tell your neighbor what we're doing to make sure they understand what we're doing to find that midpoint. Explain it to your neighbors. What are we doing to find that midpoint? Bah! All right. Next midpoint. Austin, pass someone. Biani, what you get? $14, close. 112. All right. So how do we find that? Explain it to us, please. Santi, how do you find the midpoint again? You add the both boundaries in the class and divide by 2. Okay. So 114.5 plus 119.5 divided by 2, that should give you 117. Yes? Now, once you see the pattern, also known as what? Tell your neighbor what the pattern is and what is the name of it. Tell your neighbor the pattern and what is the name of that. What is the pattern and what is the name of it? Looks like Mario's got it. Got the pattern already. So let's go with Vanya. What is the pattern and what is it called? She said 5. Did everybody see that? We're adding 5 to each of these midpoints. What is that called, everyone? From class to class, that's called the width. What was the width? 5. That was what we covered yesterday. Bah! So that means we can use the width and continue with our midpoint. 122, 127, 132. That is only if you see the pattern once you get started with the midpoints. Okay. So step 2, we're good? All right, step 3, way over here. Let's make our graph. Here you go. Nice and straight like mine. Nice. There it is. This is our temperatures. This is our frequency. So let's start with temperatures. What's the lowest temperature that we have there for highest temperatures according to this register for the 50 states? What is the lowest temperature? 99.5. That means here we're going to put the wiggles because there's nothing below 99.5, and then we start with 99.5. Next, 104.5. Next, 109.5. Next, 114.5. Next, 119.5. Next, 124.5. Next, 129.5. Next, 134.5. And notice how I stagger down here on my x-axis, because since we're dealing with 3 or 4 digits, it doesn't fit. It's going to be too crowded, so that's why I put one staggered one from the other. All right. So that's my temperatures. all the way from 99.5 to 134.5. Next, I need my frequencies. I need to scale this. And it goes all the way from 1 all the way up to what? 18. So question, what do you guys want to scale this by? By 2s? All right, go by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm going to have to move my notes up. Hold on. And I love technology. 18. My goodness. There it is. Let's go. All right. So far, so good? So, let me show you how to build a histogram. Pay attention, because this is the one that I don't understand why people miss this the most, but people do. And it's probably the simplest one. Ready? All right. Off those phones. Here it goes. I'm going to start with the first class. Pay attention, or you're going to miss it. I'm going to use the boundaries first and the frequency. Ready? 99.52, 109.52. Now I'm going to use my midpoint. Connect them, close it, shade it. Copy that. Piece of cake. Let's go. Oh, my bad. I moved over one. Sorry. Let me move back. Okay, technology, help me out here. There you go. So, 99.5 to 2, 104.5 to 2, the midpoint, which is in between these, a big point to accentuate, and then you shade your bar. All right, let's do the next one. Look up. So underline the next boundaries and the frequency. So 104.5, 109.5 all the way to what? 8. 104.5 to 8. 109.5 to 8. The midpoint goes between the two. Connect them. Close it. Shade it. I'm going to help you with the next one. Once again, boundaries and frequency. 109.5, 114.5, all the way to 18. Midpoint. Connect them. Close it. Shade it. All right. Now that you got the hang of it, let me send you the screen. Finish it off. Send me your graph. I want to see it. I'll give you some time. Go. All right. So, looks like we got it, but here it goes just to finish it off. 114, 119 to 13. 114 to 13. 119 to 13. Midpoint. Fill. The next one is to 7. And the last 2 to 1. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with histograms? We got it, right? But we're not done. They're giving us a title for this data, and you need to come up with a conclusion. Look at the data. Look at the graph. Tell your neighbor what would be a conclusion according to what they gave us. All right, looks like Austin's got it. Mario's got it. Very good, Mario. Conclusion. All right, conclusion. Brandon Darty, pass someone. Aaron, conclusion. The highest temperatures in the U.S. are between what? 109.5 to 114.5. All right. The highest temperature in the U.S. are between 104.5. Aren't we missing something? The highest temperature, yes, it is the highest, but the what? The highest what? The highest frequency. I'll put an F right here in between. Frequency, temperature in the U.S. Pretty straightforward, yeah? All right. All right. Let's move on. Copy this next one. Example number 2. This one is, we're going to represent a frequency polygon graph. Notice it's the same table, just for the sake of time, to save time. Frequency polygon, copy that table, and label it. Step 1 is done. What's that? Oh, yeah. Let me send it to your screen. There it is. Everybody there? All right, step 1. If I gave you raw data, well, step 1 is to make it into a table. Do we know how to do that? Yes, we did that last night. That's why I'm starting from that point. There's your table. Step 2 for frequency polygon graph is the same as step 2 for the histogram. Tell your neighbor what step 2 is. What is step 2? Yes, get the midpoints. Midpoints. Remind your neighbor how to find the midpoints. Remind your neighbor. How do you find the midpoint? Yes, add the boundaries and divide by 2. But in this case, since it's the same table as before, we already have them, right? So we start at 102, 107, 112, 117, 122, 124, and 132. All right. So, step 2, done. Step 3, we're going to make our graph. Here we go. There's 127? Yeah, I did that on purpose, see if you guys were paying attention. Nice. $127, my bad, there it is. All right. Where was I? Oh, our graph. Here we go. Stretch this a bit. Again, this is going to be our temps. This is going to be our frequency. And you guys said we need to scale it by 2s, yes? So we do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And then the wiggles right here, since there's no data before 99.5, 104.5, 109.5, 114.5, 119.5, 124.5, 129.5, 134.5. All right. It's going to go pretty fast, so stay focused. Ready? Here goes. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. So to sketch a frequency polygon, all I need is this and this. So midpoint between these two is 102 to 2. Midpoint for the next class is 107 to 8. Midpoint for the next one is 112 to 18. Midpoint for the next class is 117 all the way to 13. Midpoint for the next class, 122 to 7. Midpoint for the next two is that to 1, here to 1, and here to 1. Look up. So I'm going to start from the wiggles. Copy that. So to close, I'm going to close at the highest temperature, so I'm just going to drop it here to 134.5. Send me your graph. And of course, from looking at the graph, you can come up with a conclusion as well. Is that correct? Yes, Mr. Q. Yes. And again, we will write a conclusion, which is the same one as the previous one, just for the sake of time. All right, so before I move on to the last one, which is a little bit different, tell your neighbor the difference between the process for the histogram, what's the difference, and what is the same, to the process of the frequency polygon. What is the difference and what is the same? Talk it over to your neighbors. Difference and the same. So you guys notice that the process is almost exactly the same. The only thing, the graph is the only thing that differs. What is the only difference? Histograms, you use the boundaries and the midpoint to create the bar, whereas for the frequency, you only use the midpoint as a point, and you connect them all. All right, and also look up, guys, the reason these are called polygons or frequency polygons, because sometimes some of these points are going to be up here somewhere, and all of a sudden it starts looking like a rectangle type, a polygon. Obvious, yes? All right, let's go to our last one. Number 3, ogive, also known as cumulative. Copy that table again. Write example 3, write ogive graph. Step 1. If I was to give you raw data, step 1 is to make it into a table. Do we have a table already? Yes. Label that step 1. Step 2 is a little bit different for this one. So below here, do step 2. Step 2 is to create another table. You know I'm such a fool for you. Label this one class. And this second column, cumulative frequency. All right? Sorry, cranberries, let me pause you. All right. Class. Look up. I'm going to start with the smallest one. What is the smallest temperature? 99.5, but I'm going to label it like this. Less than 99.5. Next class. Less than 104.5. Less than 114.5. Oh, 109, my bad. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep you guys on your toes. 109.5. Less than 114.5. Less than 119.5. Less than 124.5. Less than 129.5. Less than 134.5. All right. I got the left side good. Let me go with the right side. Look up. Temperatures less than 99.5. Are there any? No, so I label this 0. Next, temperatures below 104.5. Yes, how many of them? Twice. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Look up. Temperatures less than 109.5. Look what I'm going to write. Tell you where I got that from. I go to the frequency. 109.5 is right here. It's called cumulative because you do what? Add everything below that. So tell your neighbor what number goes for the next class, less than 114.5. What do I write there? 28. That is correct because we go like this and add all of them together. That's why it's called what? What is the key word? Cumulative. Next one. What is it? 41. Yes. All right. Yes, that is correct. Next one. 48. Next one. 49. And next one. 50, because there's 50 states. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, because it's high temperatures in the U.S. for the 50s. Let's go. Let's do our, so step 1, good. Step 2, we're good. Step 3, let's get our graph. Wiggles. 99.5. 104.5. 109.5. 114.5. 119.5. 124.5. 129.5. 134.5. And over here, there's going to be tricky though. This one, instead of just frequency, it's what? Cumulative. Frequency. So now think about it. What is the range of the cumulative frequencies? From 0 all the way to what? So what do you want to scale this by? Do you guys think? By ones? I heard 5s, 10s. Let's go by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. So let's do this. 99.50 right here. 104.52. 109.510. 114.528. 119.541. 124.548. 129.549. And 50. Ogive, cumulative. From 1 to 5, I'll come to argue with this one. Oh, we got it, right? Tonight, they're going to ask you to represent all 3 of them on one of the problems, and the other one, only 2 types of graphs. All right? So, there you go. You got the code for the home play. Enjoy your home play. Those of you following on YouTube, make sure you get some practice in. See you guys next time. Peace.